Hi, this is Don McAllister, and welcome to another edition of Screencasts Online for iOS. This week's iOS show is a companion show to this week's Mac show, episode 397, where I cover the online service app.net. I'd really recommend watching that episode first to get an understanding of the core principles of app.net, as in this episode I'll be taking a look at some of the ever-expanding range of iOS applications built on top of the app.net platform. To quickly recap, app.net is an ad-free, subscription-based platform that allows developers to build many different types of client or web applications using the services provided by the app.net platform. Now, these services can include public and private messaging, discussion boards, photo and video sharing, file storage, and much, much more, and it's constantly being added to. To use app.net, you need an app.net account, and there are free accounts and paid-for accounts, each with differing benefits. Now, although I do have a full app.net account, I'm going to use a free tier account. The only limitation with free tier accounts is that you have a reduced amount of file storage, so you have 500 megabytes instead of 10 gigabytes, and also you are restricted to following just 40 other app.net accounts. Similar to Twitter, well, you can follow people on app.net, but only up to 40 on a free account. The paid-for accounts are unlimited followers. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open Mobile Safari and go across to alpha.app.net. This is the main page for app.net. This is the web interface into the service. And if you're not logged in, you'll see the global feed. This is just a list of all the messages that people are posting to app.net. But I'm going to go ahead and log in. As I say, I'm going to use my free account. So let me just tap in my free account. I'm using an external keyboard, so you won't see the iPad keyboard pop up on screen. I'll say, remember me on this iPad, and we'll log in. So this is my stream. These are all the messages either that I've posted or that have been posted by people that I follow. So I can read through these. Check out the Mac show to see exactly what you can do with Alpha. And Alpha is the web interface into app.net. But I've got my stream here. I've got access to all my mentions. I've got access to interactions, my starred messages, and also my private messages as well. And if we go back to Alpha, on the left-hand side, we also have the option to find people. This is where you can follow people. You can either follow using app.net suggestions, or there are some community-built tools down at the bottom to help you find your friends from Twitter who might have come across to app.net. But the main thing for this screencast is that I'm going to show you some of the iOS applications that have been developed to allow you to access some of the features of app.net. Now, to get to those applications from the web interface, we can just tap on Get Apps, and that will take us to the directory. Now, the directory is organized into mobile apps, desktop apps, and web apps down at the bottom. Now, I've covered some Mac desktop apps on the Mac show, but today I'm going to look at mobile apps on both the iPhone and the iPad. So we'll start off with the iPad first, and later we'll take a look at some iPhone apps. So if I just tap on the iPad section. Now, as with the Mac show, there are too many applications to actually cover in this particular screencast. So I'm just going to cover a couple that I've got some personal experience with. Now, they're sorted by popularity. There is a special program that app.net runs to find out which applications are being used the most and which are the most popular. So this is sorted by popularity. At the top, we've got NetBot for iPad, and we've also got Patter for iOS. We'll take a look at those. We've got Happy as well. We've got Rhino. These are all clients for the service. And then we've got Screenfeeder, Undrip, Mr. Reader, which is integration for app.net, and Goldfinch down at the bottom. But let's start off by having a look at NetBot for iPad. So NetBot is made by Tapbot. They're the people who make Tweetbot for Twitter. And if you're familiar with Tweetbot for Twitter, you'll be extremely familiar with NetBot. You can get more information about any of these by tapping into the icon. It will give you a description as to what the actual application is all about. Now, this particular version is free, so I can just tap on here to download the app. It takes me across to the iTunes App Store, and we should be able to install it from here. So I'm just going to go ahead, install the application, and then we'll run it. Now that's installed, I'll just tap on Open to run the application for the first time. And the first time that we run it, it will prompt us to sign into app.net. So again, I'm going to use my free account. We'll tap Login, it authenticates with app.net, and we're now in. So I can just swipe through these. And that takes me to the My Stream option. So this is sort of like the first page that you saw on the web interface, but now we have access using this particular client. Okay, so I can scroll up and down. I can tap on any of these links to play them. This one here, for instance, is an audio link from Hashpan. So if I tap on there, just testing some audio using Kozo's Hashpan. Now that's another application that's built on the app.net platform that allows me to capture audio. We might take a look at that later in the iPhone section. I can access all the various photographs that have been uploaded by various clients. Just tap them to get into the link. So all fairly standard stuff. If I want to see my mentions, I can tap on mentions. There are all my mentions. Again, scroll up and down, have a look at my private messages, tap into a private message to open it up, reply to it. Pretty much similar to as you would within Twitter. Thing is with app.net though, it's not really a Twitter clone. I know a lot of people think of it just in those terms. It's actually more than that. There's a lot more behind the scenes. You can do a lot more with it, and we'll explore some of that later on. Now there are some gestures in here as well. So if I want to, for instance, see a conversation, I can just swipe across. I can see replies up at the top. If there's previous responses, I'll see them down at the bottom. I can go back to my stream. So all fairly standard stuff. And if you've used Tweetbot, you'll find your way around this with no problem. Now you can also integrate NetBot with other services. So if we go into settings, we'll scroll up, go into account settings. So various URL shortening services. If I want to use image upload services, by default it uses the app.net service, which I'd recommend you keep. Options to integrate with read later services. So Bitly Pro, Instapaper, Pinboard, Pocket, Readability. Select any one of those. There's also the option to sync. There's a thing called Stream Marker, which is an external service, and that just allows you to synchronize your reading of your posts between different applications. Once you have that switched on, if you then go to another client, it will actually mark the position where you are in your current stream, and you can carry on reading from that point in a different client. But all fairly standard stuff. Let's tap away from there. But the beauty of this is that if you are familiar with Tweetbot, you'll be able to get into app.net very, very quickly. Very easy to create a post. If we just tap up at the top, and just quickly enter a post. Now, one nice thing is that your posts can be up to 256 characters. You're not restricted to 128. We've got our 256 character countdown there in the top corner. So let me just quickly bash out a quick post. I can add a hashtag if I want. I can also add an image, so I allow it to access my photos. Let's choose from library. Not sure what's on this particular machine. I've got some information from Status Board that I did in last week's show, so that's fine. And we'll say post. So basically what's happening now is that image is being uploaded to the shared file storage that's included with my app.net account. And if I go back up to my stream, scroll up to the top, there's my post at the top. It's got the hashtag testing. If I tap on that photos link, we should see the status board image pop up. Yep, there we go. Okay, so let me tap. Okay, so that's one client. Let's go back across to Mobile Safari. And let's go back out a level. Patter for iOS. Now, Patter is a chat room system that's been built on top of app.net. If we go into Patter for iOS, I'm going to go ahead and download the app. This one is actually a paid-for app, so it's $2.99, but we'll download the app. I've already purchased this on my iTunes account, so I'll put in my Apple ID and download this one. Let you have a quick look at it. So that's downloaded and installed. I'll tap on the Open button. Now, I hope you appreciate I'm not sort of going through as in-depth as I normally do on these shows because there's an awful lot to cover. I just really wanted to give you a flavor of some of these applications. So I'm going to go ahead, tap in my free tier username from app.net. We'll hit return. Okay, so right, I can now see my private messages. So there's the private messages that I had with iChris. I set these up on the Mac show. There's a chat I had with my Don McAllister account. Now down the bottom, we've got messages and rooms. So we've currently got messages selected. If I go to rooms, I've subscribed to the iOS dev chat room, which again, I did that in the Mac show, so I can go in there and have a look at it. If I want to view some other rooms, I can tap on the little Patter icon at the top, discover new rooms or view specific, where we'll say discover. So these are the various categories that are available to me. So when that's finished loading, I'll perhaps tap into general. Okay, so into the general category, so all sorts of things here, Nike Fuel Band, Drum Corps, Motorcycle Life, Actually, not that much there. Let's find another one. Let's find lifestyle. So travel, photography, motorcycle, life. Lots and lots of different chat rooms I can join. Let's go into Star Wars. So chatting about Star Wars. If I tap on here, I can actually join or subscribe to the chat room. I can mute it or I can view the participants. So if I wanted to join it, just tap join. Let's come out of here now. So if I go to lifestyle, browse categories, and done, you'll see now I have access to the Star Wars chat room over here. And again, this is all built on top of app.net. Okay, so that's Patter. Let's come out of Patter, back across to Mobile Safari, and let's go back to the directory. So back to the iPad section. So please do feel free to support some of the other developers and check out their applications as well. As I say, I'm just using the ones that I've got some experience with, but there's plenty of other applications that you can have a play with over on the directory. But let's go across to the iPhone. And let's take a look at some of these iPhone apps. So again, we've got NetBot for iPhone. We've got Repost, which is a beautiful client for app.net. We've also got Felix, which again has really been nicely designed, and River as well. We've also got Patter for iOS, so that's an iPhone app as well. We've got Happy, we've got Rhino, we've got Climber, which is a video taking app. We'll take a quick look at that. And also we've got the Hashpan application I mentioned before. Again, tons and tons and tons of applications for you to try out. Please don't be limited just to the ones that I'm suggesting. Let's take a look at Repost, and let's also take a look at Climber and Hashpan in fact, I'll use my iPod Touch for this. Now, just a very quick run through these 4 clients that I've installed on my iPod Touch, and just to speed things up, I've downloaded, installed, and signed in with my standard free account credentials. So first off, the NetBot, well, it's pretty much as we saw before. The thing you'll notice with this is that the links, if I go to my stream, the links are links. You can tap on the links to have a look at them, and then go back to my stream when you finish looking at the link. Now, Repost handles it slightly differently in that if I tap on Repost, right, this is my stream, and you'll see it's sort of like full screen, so there's no controls other than the little pencil that allows you to create a new post. And as I scroll up, you'll see that the images are actually displayed in the stream itself. So, you know, if people are posting photos or videos, you actually do get a really nice view of the actual image themselves. As far as navigation is concerned, you just swipe across, gives you access to your mentions. Again, you can scroll up and down. You can scroll over as well. So if I want to see a conversation, I can just scroll over and then scroll up or down. Various things to star posts, to repost posts, to reply, and also to send to various other services. So message, Twitter, post the URL, copy text, etc. Read later options. So you can send a post or a link to Instapaper, Pocket, or Readability. We'll say done to that. To get back, we just swipe across and swipe across again. So access to private messages, swipe across again. So really nicely put together. This one also handles multiple accounts as well, as I understand. But there's our interactions. Just swipe and back up to my stream. Swipe up to the top. If you go into an image, to get back out, you just swipe across. So that's Repost. Let's come out of Repost. The next one is Climber. Now, Climber isn't a standard app.net client. It's basically an equivalent of Vine. If you're familiar with Vine on Twitter, Vine is a service that allows you to take short videos. So if I open Climber, again, I've already logged in with my app.net credentials, so I won't show you too much of my messy desk, but basically just tap the screen to start recording. You can see the progress bar going across the top. Let go, it stops recording. You can move, press the screen, it starts recording again. I could change to the forward-facing camera if I want to, but I won't. But there we go, I can review the video. And once we're happy, we just say next, and then just post some text. I could add my location as well by tapping on the small symbol down at the bottom, but I won't do that. I'll just say post. And that video now gets uploaded to the shared file service on app.net, and the post will be converted into a standard post. So if we go back into Repost, once this is uploaded, we should be able to see that particular post. Okay, so there we go. So if I come out of here, back into Repost, right, one unread post, scroll down, there's my video. In this instance, it's not actually displayed as a piece of media, but I can tap on there. Tap play. Tap screen to start recording. You can see the thing going across the top. You can see the progress bar going across the top. Now, finally, a quick look at Hashpan. I tap on Hashpan. Hashpan is great if you're into uploading multimedia. So it supports video, it supports audio, and just standard text and images as well, obviously. So this is my stream. I can have a look at my mentions. I can have a look at the global stream, etc. But to create a new post, I have to tap on here. Another test. I can send my location from the button down the bottom. I can add media. So I've got photo, video, or audio. So if I want to create some audio, tap on audio, tap on record. Quick countdown. Just recording some audio using the Hashpan application and demonstrating how it gets uploaded to app.net. Okay, I can play it back. Just recording some audio using the Hashpan application and demonstrating how it gets uploaded to app.net. That's fine. We'll say done. And then we'll say send. Now, just as an aside, the media files aren't actually uploaded to the shared app.net storage. They're actually uploaded to a separate service. Now, the main reason for that is that the application itself, Hashpan, predates the availability of the shared file storage. And I know that Kozo is actually working on a revised version of Hashpan. Okay, and then if I scroll down, there's one new post. There's another test, hashpan.com/8009. I go across to, say, Repost, swipe across, pull down. There's the Hashpan. Tap on there. Tap on there. Just recording some audio using the Hashpan application and demonstrating how it gets uploaded to app.net. And swipe across. And back out. Okay, so that's just a flavor for some of the iOS applications available for app.net. As I said, I haven't gone into as much depth or detail as I normally do, but it gives you an idea of some of the capabilities of those sorts of applications. But again, please don't just go with the applications that I've pointed out. There are plenty more applications to try as well. But anyway, that's it for this week. But I should just finish off by reminding you that this has been a completely independent production and hasn't been sponsored or endorsed by the developers of app.net. But if this is the first Screencasts Online video that you've seen, I do a weekly iOS and Mac video that you can check out over at screencastsonline.com. It is a membership service, so you can go across and find out information about how to become a Screencasts Online member to get the weekly video tutorials. There is also a magazine across on the newsstand, a Screencasts Online monthly magazine. You can subscribe to that separately from the membership, or if you become a member, you get a free subscription to the magazine as well. So go across to screencastsonline.com to check out my Mac and iOS video tutorials every week. But that's it for this week. I'll speak to you next time.